What's up, all my movie-loving maniacs? It's your boy Bangful B of the Lassiter Factor, and in light of the passing of Val Kilmer, I finally watched a movie that I've been meaning to watch for the first time, and that is Heat, which in December will be celebrating its 30th anniversary, so let's review. Heat follows two factions in which you have Neil McCauley, who leads a heist team to rob a bank. You have Detective Hannah, who infiltrates and is out to get that crew. Now, Heat is one of those movies that I've always heard about, and people talk about how great it is. I've heard nothing but positive things about it. It is directed by Michael Mann, who made movies like Collateral, but the main sell of this movie is Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. In fact, it isn't the first movie that the two of them have been in together, but it is the first time that the two of them shared a scene together, let alone more than one scene together. And that was always the selling point of this movie. Two great actors during the prime of their career in a movie together, sharing lines together, sharing a scene together. How do I feel about this movie after finally seeing it? I really love this movie. Now, Michael Mann's filmmaking on display in this movie, I just love the vibe. He just knows how to get kind of like that gritty, realistic vibe that crime thrillers or police procedurals need. And some movies try to replicate this in other films, but nothing has ever done it like the movie Heat. Like I said, there's plenty of heist movies where they try to focus on the heist crew and the authorities, but let's be real, most heist movies, they put more emphasis on the crew, but this is really, at least from my memory, the first heist movie I've seen where they give both equal time to both the crew and the authorities, and you understand both sides. You got two actors at the height of their careers. Robert De Niro, he's the antagonist, while Pacino, he's the protagonist. One is after the other. They both are aware of one another. And that diner scene, it's one of the best in which the two of them, they basically explain their point of views and begin to understand one another and at times even respect each other. Because this movie also kind of has a theme of isolation because both men are kind of small-minded or simple-minded, but they both are just dedicated to their professions in life. De Niro's character, he is a dedicated criminal that has one goal, and that is the heist, and he tries not to get attached, hence why he's alone, and we even see that manifest in his love interest in this movie. She clearly tries to hit on him, but he doesn't recognize that, so he switches it up, and he basically longs for human connection, as with Detective Hannah, in which he's on his third marriage, he's trying to connect, but he just can't because he is just too dedicated to his job. And even outside of Pacino and De Niro, this movie is still a stacked cast, like more stacked than I even realized. Now, of course, the late Val Kilmer, rest in peace. I liked his character in the movie. He's basically the second to Robert De Niro in the crew that they're a part of, and he has a family, and he's a little estranged from it, and his wife, Ashley Judd, and I will say she pissed me off at the end because let's just say she does end up in the hands of the authorities, and one of them, they try to tell her like, hey, if you don't cooperate, you're basically an accessory to the crime and you're gonna mess things up for your child. And she tries to do the right thing, but ultimately looks out for her man, and like I said, that's the part that pissed me off. Voight is in this movie, and he's basically a handler for Robert De Niro's crew in this movie. William Fichtner's character, and he kind of gets tangled up in everything, both with the police and Robert De Niro. Azaria is in this movie. Danny Trejo is in this movie. He was starting to boom during the 90s, but humble beginnings. I even like his death scene in this movie because he really got to flex his acting chops in this movie. This is probably some of the best acting I've ever seen from Danny Trejo right here. Hello Bill from Silence of the Lambs. Ted Levine is in this movie. Late Ricky Harris. Bubba from Forrest Gump. Also, Uncle George from ATL is in this movie, and going back to the scene with Ashley Judd, he's the one that basically delivers all that dialogue to her. Haysbert, also the Allstate guy, or fake Denzel as Kanye once called him. But anyways, he has a small role in this movie where his back is against the wall, he's trying to do the right thing, but he just has a shitty job, and then he just gets pulled back into the life of crime, and spoiler alert, he doesn't make it, and I guess you can say he wasn't in good hands. The acting, dialogue, and filmmaking on display was on point, but there were so many moments where I went back and rewind because of how brilliant the acting and dialogue was. To me, this is definitely one of those movies that will benefit from repeat viewings because there is so much going on and yet so good. I will say I enjoyed the second half more than the second half because I just felt like once the heist crew was onto the fact that the LAPD was onto the heist crew, I just felt that's when the movie really started to hit its stride. But I still liked that first half because it was basically setting the stage for everything we would get in the second half. You know how good this movie is, so what can I really say about this movie that hasn't been said? For right now, I'm gonna give Heat the hard eyes emoji with the caveat of it possibly going up to the hands up emoji for a masterpiece. Because I feel like the more time I let this movie marinate with me and the more times I rewatch this movie, I'll just appreciate it more and more. That's it for the day. Have you seen Heat? You probably have. But if so, let me know what you think of this movie in the comment section below. This is your boy Bangful B of the Lassiter Factor. Stay safe, wash your hands, and again, rest in peace, Val Kilmer.